Thanks for tuning in. I'm Donnie, and today I've got a great opportunity to ride this 2020 Sherco 300 SEF Factory Edition. This is a demo bike from Max Motorsports, and they're letting me take it out for the day so I can tell you guys what I think about it. It's a hot day and I've got to get some air moving, so let's get out on the trails. So this is a 2020 Sherco 300 SEF. This is the Enduro model from Sherco. This is the Factory Edition. So it's got a few upgrades from the standard bike. The full exhaust system is Akrapovic. It's got anodized blue Excel rims and the KYB suspension. There's a deer. So Sherco is a European bike company. The Enduro bikes like this one are made in France. And they also make trials bikes and some other bikes that are made in Spain. Max Motorsports has just recently become a dealer for Sherco, and they were nice enough to, there's some turkeys, a bunch of turkeys. That's what happens when you come riding on a weekday. See a bunch of wildlife, more turkeys over there. So I mentioned this is the Factory Edition. It's got the KYB suspension on it, and it's been a few years since I had a bike with the KYB. And everybody raves about how good it is, and there's a reason for that. It's very good. The handling feels a lot like my KTM 2-stroke. And that's weird to say, but if you spend a lot of time on 2-strokes and 4-strokes, they do kind of handle differently. And this thing is just ready to go wherever you point it. And I really like that about it. The engine in this bike is just fantastic. It's a 304cc 4-stroke, obviously. It's got smooth, usable power, and you can lug it down low, and you can scream it up high, and it seems to do everything in between very well, and it's very difficult to stall. So in addition to that, there's really no vibration to speak of compared to other 4-strokes like a YZ250FX and KTM 4-strokes. Very similar in terms of vibration. It's not bothersome at all, so I really like that about it. The riding position is a little bit different than what I'm used to. It has a riding position that's similar to, say, a YZ250FX, with the pegs being a little higher and the bars being a little lower than, say, KTM and Husky. If it's my bike, I'd probably put some bar risers on it, but that's kind of a personal preference. Everybody kind of makes changes to their bike so that it feels right. The only other thing I'd change is I'd put some wraparound guards on it, and I'd probably put some ODI Rogue lock-on grips on it. Other than that, it's pretty close to perfect. Alright, so this is one of my favorite sections, the single track here at the ridge. Max just recently started carrying Sherco as another option. They've always been a dealer for KTM, Husqvarna, and Suzuki, and they can help you out with any of those brands. But if I was anywhere in the southeast United States thinking about a Sherco, I'd get it from Max for sure, or really any bike, but KTM, Husqvarna, Suzuki, or Sherco, Max is the place to buy it, in my opinion. They support the racing community. All the guys that work there ride and race. It's a steep downhill right here. Doesn't really show up on camera very well, but stop and concentrate a second. But the guys at Max, they're all great guys, and they all ride, and some of them race, and they know the sport, and they know what you want. They can help you solve problems. They can help you resolve issues. Max is located in Pelham, Alabama, about 20 miles south of Birmingham. You can call them or email them, and you can even text that number on the screen. But for sales, service, and parts, it's just hard to beat Max. And one of the things I've noticed about this engine, this bike has only got like somewhere like 3 or 4 hours on it. Good stuff. I love this trail. This bike's only got about 3 or 4 hours on it, something like that. And the transmission is buttery smooth. Like most of the bikes that I bought new, you really have to get 50-60 hours on them before the notchiness kind of comes out of the transmission. I'm just talking about how difficult it is to stall, but I was in second gear, just kind of lugging along there, and didn't get the clutch pulled in quick enough, so that's really not the bike's fault. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the transmission. The ratios seem really well. It's a 6-speed, and I assume, from what I can tell, I need to look up the spec, but I'm assuming it's a wide ratio. This 304 stroke is just really good at lugging through single track stuff, and then when you get it out in the open stuff, it's got more power than you would ever need. So the 300 seems to hit a sweet spot. So on this bike, you've got the European style steel frame, kind of European setup from a chassis point of view, with the KYB suspension, so that gives it kind of a unique feel. Another thing I really like about this bike is the look of it. The color combinations and the styling just all really goes well together and doesn't hurt a thing. And it sounds great too. Just a little bit throatier than a 250. That Akrapovic exhaust gives it a good sound. While the KYB suspension is soaking up all the roots and rocks, makes you feel like you're doing something. Love it. I'm recording this video in September of 2020. They've got some 4-strokes in stock, and they're planning on getting some 2-stroke Shercos in stock later this month or early in October. All the guys there are awesome to work with. Chris, Tom, and Eric in sales. You've got Justin, Jared, and Bill, and at the parts counter. They're all great, and they can all help you out with whatever you need. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please give it a like if you want to see more demo bike rides on the channel, and leave a comment down below and let me know if you've ridden the Sherco and what you thought about it. Thanks for watching.